How to lose weight the right way. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you probably know that I'm not the biggest fan of telling you how to lose weight and talking about weight loss, like weight loss secrets, things like that. My approach is more to focus on eating healthily and building healthy eating habits and a healthy relationship with food, and then letting the weight loss follow. However, I do understand that for a lot of people, losing weight is a goal, and that's fine. And losing weight is also like a motivation to get into healthy eating, and that's fine as well. I would rather give you tools so that you do it the correct way rather than you like go on a drastic weight loss diet and lose like 10 pounds in 1 week and then gain everything back and more. So today I'm going to be talking about how you can lose weight in a healthy way and giving you some of my weight loss tips. The reason why I recommend that you try to lose weight in a healthy way, in a way that is sustainable, rather than looking for quick weight loss techniques, is because these techniques don't work. Quick sustainable weight loss isn't a thing. Even if you find a technique that will make you lose weight quickly, you are going to gain all that weight back. Diets don't work. Studies have shown that like drastic diets don't work, because what happens if you drastically cut your calories, you are going to lose weight and you are drastically going to reduce your metabolism. And so even if you keep on consuming the same amount of calories that initially made you lose the weight, then at some point your metabolism is going to be lower than like your initial metabolism that you started with. So you're going to need to be decreasing the amount of food that you're eating, or else you are gonna gain weight back a little bit. So basically, in order for weight loss to work, if you're doing it in like a quick kind of fad diet way, you need to keep on decreasing and decreasing and decreasing the amount of calories that you eat, and that is just not sustainable and totally unhealthy. And that's why lots of people yo-yo diet. They lose weight quickly and then they gain everything back, and that is not what we want. So that's why, as hard as it is, it's also important that you're not too focused on the weight loss, that you take all of your energy and put it into building healthy eating habits, and think about how it's going to impact your health and your general well-being. And let weight loss kind of be like an added side benefit to that. And it's very likely, if you do these things, it's very probable that you are going to lose the weight. I mean, obviously this is going to depend on factors like your set point and your like general genetic makeup, the way that you like your weight distribution. The first thing that you need to do is to really focus on creating healthy and balanced meals. And I'm gonna break that down a little bit, because I know that's all I ever really say, but it is at the forefront of like everything. Basically, you need to be eating a wide variety of foods that give you a wide variety of nutrients, and making sure that you include foods like whole grains, plenty of fruit and vegetables, plenty of beans, legumes, things like that, healthy fat sources, healthy protein sources, plenty of water. These foods should really become staples in your meals, and they should compose about 80% of your food intake, and then 20% of the rest of your food intake can be for things that are a little bit more processed, things that are like more treat foods, junk foods, things that are very enjoyable and that have like benefits in terms of satisfying cravings and dealing with like emotional needs. But these foods should not be at the forefront of your diet. They should not be making up the bulk of your diet. Usually when people think about healthy eating, they think about eating like salads all day, drinking water all day, and like really cutting calories, really under eating, being like miserable with the food that they eat. And they think of like unhealthy eating as having like junk food and cookies and cakes. But true balanced eating is being able to incorporate both of these things into a balanced, varied, fun, satisfying, delicious way of eating that is totally tailored to what you enjoy. I have a video on how to eat healthy for beginners if you're interested, that you can check out right here. And I also have a video on how to create a healthy plate that you can also check out here or in the description. And I think that these will help you understand like what it is to eat healthy and balanced. But true balance is only achieved when you don't have off-limit foods, where you are able to get in a mix of different foods that satisfy all of your needs, physical, emotional. It's also super crucial that you turn to more mindful and intuitive eating, because it's very important to watch what you're eating, but how you're eating is also very, very, very crucial. Basically, mindful eating is a technique used to kind of regain control over your eating habits. And the goal is to really focus on what your body is feeling, your internal hunger and fullness cues, in order to know when to eat and when to stop, rather than listening to outside rules and regulations like it's time to eat, like somebody's telling you to eat, your plate is full so you need to finish it, things like that. There's multiple aspects to intuitive eating, and it is definitely not a weight loss method at all. So I don't think that you should be using like intuitive eating as your main focus. But there are definitely certain principles that are very useful. So like the mindful eating aspect. So really trying to eat your food in a healthy and conscious way, making sure that you are only eating what really seems appealing to you, and that you're taking the time to chew your food, taking the time to eat, that you are taking breaks in between bites, and that you're really, again, honoring your hunger and fullness cues. All of that is very, very important. We live in a world that is full of distractions, and if you're always distracted when you're eating, if you're always eating on the go, rushing through your meals, then you're not going to enjoy it, and you're not going to be properly satisfied with your meal, and that is going to lead to overeating and then weight gain. So if you want weight loss, you have to make sure that you are taking long stretches of time to eat, and that you are really taking the time to focus on only your food, and that will get you really, really good results. And I have a whole mindful and intuitive eating playlist that you can check out here if you're interested, or in the description. And while food is very important, you can't forget all the rest that plays into health. By all the rest, I mean things like thinking about your physical activity levels, making sure that you are doing some type of exercise multiple times a week at least. And it doesn't have to be something like going to the gym, lifting heavy weights, or like going for super long runs, or like bike riding. It doesn't have to be things like that. It should be things that you actually enjoy, and that you are going to do with like pleasure, and that are going to be fun for you, so that you actually end up doing them and they're actually sustainable. It's also important to make sure that your sleep schedule is good, that you're sleeping enough, and that the quality of sleep that you're getting is high enough, and that you keep your stress levels as low as possible. I know, easier said than done, but make sure that you are doing things on a daily basis to relieve stress. It can be little things, but make sure that you're doing really things that you enjoy and that are for yourself. Adopt the right weight loss mindset. Now, all of these technical things are very important, but you also need to make sure that you have the right weight loss mindset in order to actually lose weight in a sustainable way. Wanting to lose weight is fine, it's okay, it's a totally honorable goal, but that doesn't mean that you should hate the body that you're currently in, and you shouldn't also expect this weight loss to get rid of like all your problems. You're not necessarily going to be a much happier person once you lose the weight than you are now. You're gonna find other things to like shift your focus on. The reason why you have to love your current body now, and how that is going to help with weight loss, is that I get a lot of clients telling me, well, these are all the things that I want to do, but I can't do them because I don't have this body yet. But you need to put yourself in the shoes of a person that had like your ideal body, your dream body right now. What would they do? Probably they would eat healthily, yes, sure, but they would also let themselves have treats once in a while. They would make sure that they're physically active and that they're also doing things that they enjoy. These are all things that you don't have to wait for. These are things that you can start doing right now. It's also important to accept that your kind of natural set point weight and natural body may not look like the body plastered all over the media. That's something that you really have to come to terms with, because your like healthy eating habits can only do so much. They're not going to drastically change your bone structure or your weight distribution, and you can't put like all of that expectations on what you're doing, because if you do it only for your body, let's say that you eat healthily for a few months and your health markers are all great, but you don't have like the super thin waist that you wanted, then you might be tempted to be like, oh, well, like might as well stop and go back to eating unhealthily if I'm not, at the body that I want. And obviously that is not good. In a nutshell, the right weight loss mindset that you need to have is the one where weight loss, yes, it's a good, nice thing that you can kind of look forward to, but it shouldn't be at the forefront of your mind. It should more so be something that is going to kind of happen when you start eating healthy and focusing on your relationship with food and eating more mindfully and doing all of these things. Heal your relationship with food. So finally, developing a healthy relationship with food is totally crucial when you're trying to lose weight, because with diet culture, you're often pushed to see weight loss as like the ultimate goal and something to achieve regardless of what it's going to take. So you're going to see things like drastic weight loss methods that are going to be incredibly unhealthy, but as long as they get you the results, then it's like fine. I can't stress this enough. If you're only doing like the healthy eating work without focusing on the relationship with food aspect, it's not going to work long term. It's not going to be sustainable, because you're going to end up in like a restrictive cycle, and this is going to feel like a diet that you have to like get through for a couple weeks, months, and then it has to be like over where you can get back to like your real life, and that's where you're going to gain all the weight back. And that's the mindset that you absolutely cannot be having when you're trying to lose weight in a healthy, sustainable way. So you have to stop seeing foods as good or bad. You have to stop having foods that are off limits. You have to really work on your fear foods, like foods that you aren't allowed to have. And since this is like a weight loss video, this doesn't mean that you're supposed to have these foods all the time, obviously, but they really need to be incorporated semi-regularly into your meals. And I know that this may seem like counterintuitive. You're like, well, if I want to lose weight, why do I need to be like adding cookies or like pizza to my diet? Well, it's because if you prevent yourself from having them, maybe in a week, in 2 weeks, you're just not going to be able to handle not having them anymore, and you're just going to end up binging on them. And the calories that you are going to consume from these binges are going to be much higher than if you were to just have had like a cookie on one day and like a slice of pizza on another day. So important that you learn to incorporate these foods in a moderate way. So if you want more help with working on your relationship with food, I have a video on that you can check out right here or in the description. Quick tips to help with weight loss. So now that you have all this information, I'm just going to share with you my best quick little tips, secrets to help you with weight loss. Eat more whole foods. This is what is going to give you the most volume and the most nutrients for the least amount of calories, and therefore least amount of weight gain. Choose whole foods whenever possible. So choose the whole fruit over applesauce or fruit juice. Choose whole vegetables instead of ready-made soups. Choose whole grains instead of refined white flour foods, etc. And make sure that you're also eating plenty of legumes and nuts and seeds, things like that. If you're focusing on all of that, then you're gonna have less room for the highly processed, high calorie rest of foods. The second thing is you have to limit eating out or ordering in as much as possible, because usually the foods that you eat at like restaurants or takeout, they are going to be higher in calories. It's going to be like heavier preparations, maybe foods that are a little bit more calorie dense, and also you're likely to eat more than what you actually want. Usually it's going to be like portioned out for you. The portions are pretty big, and so you're less likely to eat intuitively and to actually listen to your hunger cues. So all of these things add up, and if you are eating out multiple times a week, that can lead to some weight gain. So if you want to lose the weight, then make sure that you are limiting eating out and ordering takeout as much as possible. Again, it's something that you absolutely need to keep on doing if you enjoy it, but it should be like a special occasion, like a treat thing that you do once in a while. So if you're currently eating out every day, let's say, really try to lower it down. Maybe skip like a day or two in the week, and then try every other day, and then try only once a week. Take things day by day, little by little, and make sure that you are trying to make your meals at home as much as possible. Be mindful of the order that you eat your foods in. So start with the foods that are really nutrient dense and pretty low in calories, so that you're sure that you at least get to them before you're full. And also these foods are going to take up more space in your stomach, and so you're going to have naturally less room for the foods that are like more calorie dense. And this is not anything restrictive to tell you that you're not supposed to have these foods. It's just if you shift the order a little bit, then naturally you're going to have less room for these foods. Reduce your alcohol consumption. First of all, there are lots of calories in alcohol, way more than we think. And also, usually when you get drunk, you are likely to make choices that are not the best when it comes to your food intake. You're likely to eat higher amounts of like high calorie, more like palatable foods. So if you're able to reduce your alcohol intake, you're going to reduce the calories that you consume a lot. And then to go along with that, try to stick to water as much as possible. There's like so many calories calories in sodas, fruit juices, things like that, that you don't even realize. They don't really like fill you up. So when you are having soda, fruit juices, like these are totally foods that you can have and drinks that you can have, but it needs to be seen like a special treat that you're having and that you're consciously drinking and enjoying. It shouldn't be like your default beverage, you know, having orange juice in the morning and like a soda with lunch and then a soda with dinner. If you're really used to drinking a lot of soda, and then this goes for alcohol as well, you can try to lower your amount that you're drinking little by little. Don't like quit everything cold turkey, but if you're drinking like 3 glasses a day, go down to 1, and then go down to like 1 every other day, and then 1 a week. It's only a question of getting used to it. That's it for this video. I hope that you found some of the tips helpful. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like it and subscribe, and see you on my next one. Bye.